Few days ago, almost 222,000 listeners were listening to Peter Obi during his engagement on Twitter Space. Peter Obi spoke a lot of things in answering the questions asked by the listeners. A lot of people did not get the main point. In this video, I am going to expose the Obi's next move that he talked about in that Twitter Space. Obi's main focal point is about the middle of this video. He talks about the parliamentary system of government coming to Nigeria. Let's listen.
Yeah, good evening from my end first. Good evening, Mr. President. I call you Mr. President because I know we won the election and the criminals stole it from us. Mr. President, from what we have seen in the past year, we have seen that our ballot revolution will not do it. We have also seen that the courts will not do it for us. They are compromised. We saw the blatant whatever they did at the Supreme Court. And we have seen subsequently how the criminals in government today, I will use the word criminals because we all in this room know the truth. The whole world knows the truth. How they have continued to blatantly put their people, their cronies in power, from INEC to police to whatever arms of government. Mr. President, you and I know, and everybody knows, that going to the ballot again will not do it for us. Take Imo, take Kogi, take Bayelsa as examples. Take Kano as example. Take Port Harcourt as example. Those states where I'm from is coming up very soon. The same thing will happen. Mr. President, I will differ with everybody in this room and ask you a simple question. Please, when are we going to hit the streets? Because if the tables were turned, Tinubu and his gang would have turned off Nigeria by today. We played by the rule, voted massively, went to the court massively, and we did everything. And they still denied us what was right. Mr. President, there is no constitution today in Nigeria. So when are we going to hit the streets? That is the language they will understand. If you say you don't want people to be killed, they dropped a bomb in Kaduna a few weeks ago. You visited them. They killed innocent people over there. Across the country, people are being kidnapped daily. Coppers going to Zamfara are still in captive for over 4 months, if I'm not mistaken. People can't feed across Nigeria, Mr. President. When are we going to hit the street? That is what they will understand. Because we won the election. And as I round up, Mr. President, you made a statement that people from abroad were calling you, trying to cut deals with you on how to govern Nigeria. We know they don't.
I'm so sorry to interject, Chief Oaken. If you don't mind, can you please go straight to your question?
The question is, when are we hitting the street? Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. Thank you very much. I know how you feel. I know the pain you feel. But let me tell you what I've always said. We are preaching the right things. We will not do it wrongly. I've always said that those who want to answer excellency must come through the excellent way. It will take time. It will look as if it's going to be denied. But I will tell you, it won't be too far. We are going to do it the right way, and we're going to get there. The people will be with us. They will come to an end one day. There are things I cannot tell. They're coming to an end because hunger, everything, because they can't do it. I have said to people, if you hit the streets, it will be worse for those you're trying to protect, because they are the ones who live in armored houses with armored cars, which I and you don't have. They live a sophisticated life. They are now using billions to refurbish themselves and everything. I said it before that coppers who genuinely want to serve Nigeria are now in captivity and people are celebrating. They didn't mention them in their celebration. I didn't see their celebration mention, these my people who are in captivity. I didn't see them show prayers or mention those who died in Kaduna in their speeches. So please, let's not allow more to die. Yes, it might be language they will understand, but after more people have been killed and kidnapped and lots of excuse given, my pleading with you is that let us try to continue the same way we've done it so far. We will get there. Quote me anywhere.
This is the first question that Peter Obi answered. When are we hitting the street? Peter Obi is a kind of person that we all know that he will not subscribe to things that are not good, things that he knows that when we do this, will not bring the result for us. I think he knows when it is necessary for people to hit the street. Before you listen to the second question, I just want to let you know that Peter Obi is also the main option in Nigeria, because let me tell you, with all this lavishing of resources going on, when President is traveling with people, lavishing our resources, there is no hope for Nigerians now. There is no hope. And there is no how this government will be able to bring Nigeria to the limelight. There is no how Tinubu's administration or this APC-led administration will bring what Nigerians want to them.
I'm from West Africa region, colonized by the French. To this day, most of the 14 countries of West Africa are using the CFA currency that belongs to France. So we don't have any monetary independence. The economy of these countries are really poor compared to Nigeria, compared to the former British colonies. And right now, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger got rid of France because France is just extracting. Basically, if I can use the word, excuse my language, France is just stealing everything from these poor economy. We have, for example, in Senegal, the principal candidate, just like yourself, is in detention right now. After 65 years of independence, all these African countries, I think it's time for us to think about having the African citizenship. Africa to become one country, under one president, under one currency. My question to you is, how do you feel about the future of Africa being a federation under one president, one country, and one currency? Thank you so much for your
Well, let me tell
answer.
you, if you listen to my lecture in the Commonwealth just about 3 weeks ago, I was emphatic on it. While it will take a while of time for us to become a united country, Africa have no reason to be poor, because the only continent of the world that today you can say there's a future for development and creating that enormous is Africa. And Africa is so blessed. Congo is sitting on 24 trillion worth of natural assets. They have no reason to be poor. So is Nigeria. We have from oil to other minerals to everything. We have no reason to be poor. Africa have a youthful population. While the other people are aging and everything, in Africa, we have a youthful population that is in their productive age. But they have leaders who don't want that. Because those people you're calling are using those leaders. It will shock you. I was campaigning to be president of Nigeria. I'm going to tell my story around my book one. People are inviting you, oh, we want to see you in different capitals of the world. And you go there, people say to you, we're going to put in this amount of money in your campaign, but this is going to happen, that is going to happen. I said, wait a minute, you're talking about my country. You can't do that. Why are we going to be going to United Nations to complain or beg about what God has given to us? Our seas, our waters, our oceans are being occupied, and all the resources there are going to foreigners. Why are we not going to United Nations to complain about foreigners in our territory? Our natural resources are being mined by. So the things we need to do, and I can tell you, it will happen. We will start by making sure that people are the ones in charge, running our affairs. We might not be united, but I keep saying, Europe is not one, Asia is not one, but they found the common reality that they need to work hard and deal with their own issues. And that is where we will start. Today, trade within African countries is still below 10%. It should be more. And it's not something you talk about. It's about, again, having people who are competent to drive the process. Shouldn't just be one or two. Should be all over Africa. Thank you.
Would it be out of place, since you're not able to become the president, to offer hand of fellowship to work in this administration to make it work and make it better for what you want it to be? Now,
That's
you
exactly
can,
what I'm doing by being in opposition.
okay, being
For
in
a system to
opposition.
work, you must be able to have an effective alternative everywhere in the world, even in your private business. You must have an alternative. That the reason why you're seeing America, Britain, the first world develop is because they have an effective opposition. One of the things that have killed Africa is not having effective opposition, because everybody is lumped into one. That's what I'm providing now. I can show you places where things would have gone wrong and people said no. Listen, Peter Obi will oppose this, or this person will oppose this. That is exactly what I'm doing now. That's why I'm even advocating that we have to either go back to parliamentary system or have a near parliamentary system where whenever there is in the parliament anywhere, when it's presidential questions time or prime minister's question time, he answers it himself, not subletting it to somebody we didn't elect. So I'm doing that. And when I was governor, I tolerated that. Go and ask people like Dr. Chris Ngige and everybody. I allowed them to criticize what I'm doing. That's the only way to work.
Okay, so let me add to this, sir.
Thank you.
If you are heading the economic team of this administration, largely the economic team churns out policies that are people oriented and people friendly, Your Excellency, sir. If someone with like you with your knowledge heads the economic team, trust me, whatever you want to do for Nigeria will be in place and it will be passed. So why not be in the ruling party and leaving the opposition now that it does
No,
not
no,
work?
no, no, no. It would be wrong. It would destroy the system. Because let me tell you, what I'm saying now might look easy, but every leader has his own purpose and his own time. The people today, I'm not saying they don't have the best of ideas. Yes, they have a lot of professors, they're wonderful people, but I will not drive this vehicle called Nigeria the same way. When I talk about things, I talk about cutting costs and everything. My brother has been governor. It wasn't easy for a lot of my colleagues to do what I'm doing. I've also been, if you don't know, it's not just being governor. I've also been bank chairman in this country, where I was the only bank chairman who was not living in their land. I lived in a place called Festac. And I come to meeting and I remember the bank telling me you have to do this and everything. So people think I started this in if you go to the bank where I was chairman, Fidelity, go there, I turned down chairman's vehicle. They wrote me a letter and told me you're entitled to this type of vehicle, Range Rover, Mercedes 500. I said no. As at that time I drive Peugeot. I said my Peugeot will bring me here and I will do this job and go. I did not borrow 1 naira from them for 1 day. I said, I am not here. We're here to manage people's money. So we have different lifestyles. What I'm doing now is what I want to do for the country to be good. And it is better where I'm offering it. And I've said it alternatively. When they do things, that's what makes a system work.
Peter Obi also has a response to Akpabio. Remember when he said in a forum that Peter Obi wouldn't have won Lagos State and Ebonyi State without rigging.
There was no way you could have won Lagos or Ebonyi State if not by rigging. Your Excellency, what are your thoughts on this? Thank you.
I don't like joining issues with people. You know, the Senate president is an uncommon Senate president. Everything about him is uncommon. So I like doing things with common people, not uncommon people, because I'm not one of that. Because he shouldn't even be talking about birthday party in a country like this today. You saw what I put up an advert during my birthday that people should not come for anything and should not do drinks and do anything. Instead, whatever they have, they will give me or think about me. They should give it to the poor people around them. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I'm telling people. Even in this Christmas, I've told people I'm not celebrating Christmas. I'm not celebrating anything. And I didn't even buy cards. I'm going to send people WhatsApp message. Everything that I have to spend, I'm going to use it. I have about 6 nursing schools and hospitals that I intend to visit. Can you imagine that there's a bomb in Nigeria that killed over 80 people and several others injured, and they're in hospital? That is less than 2 hours drive from Abuja, and we're celebrating. And nobody has visited those people. No senior member of government have been there. If it happens in any other country, because of the circumstances, from the president, vice to senate president, they will visit there. They will show remorse. It calls for not celebrating. I didn't go out yesterday because I lost somebody I consider a well-meaning Nigerian patriot, Ezife. And that's how it should be. We have students from Akwa Ibom, where the senate president is, who are still held in captivity because they were going to do youth service and they're kidnapped. Their parents are still looking for their children. They're still crying. And we're celebrating. But like I said, my brother Babio is an uncommon person. And when a common person talks, common people keep quiet. I'm a common person. I respect his office. I respect him. I wish him well. You know I won the election, not just in Lagos and Ebony. I won the election in Nigeria. If not because, again, it's an uncommon place. It's an uncommon country. And that's what you get. Uncommon people are there because they did uncommon things. Thank you.